All right,
Can I
so
sit next to you?
of course, for a minute until I go bring Tai Tai to the pond. So I want to explain something.
It feels so good to see you.
One of these days we will do a Q&A. We're just going to sit here and we're going to read your questions as they come through and just going to answer. I don't know when we're going to do that yet.
It's gonna be Q&A with Ellen A.
Exactly.
Woo!
We
and
just
Moo Moo.
and Moo Moo. We don't know when, but it'll be pre-baby season. It'll be like that 17 counter when we get down to like 5 or 6 days left. Somewhere around there. Probably the day before we change this whole area into kidding
You don't
stalls.
need caffeine.
But we have gotten this question more than once, and
And we wanna take the time to explain it, not just like quickly in a chat or
you might want to bring up questions. just
anyway.
in case.
Yeah. So we had the question, why not put some collars on your goats and have them have names on them, or color code them so that we know Danica is purple and Amy is, so you guys can tell the dogs apart. So I don't want the short answer. I don't want the long answer
So
either.
basically, we do what's right for the goats before we do what's right for the people.
Well, listen, we used to have collars on all of our goats all year long. We started with plastic chain collars. We then went to the nylon. They were supposed to be what are they called?
They're called breakaway.
Breakaway collars.
They're made out of like a
The clip itself.
like a Velcro, actually.
Well, no,
We went-
the clip itself is made out of like a plastic that if it gets tugged on, it releases. And then as the babies were born, this was now 2 years ago, the Toggenburg babies can be difficult to tell apart, obviously. So we used to put little puppy Velcro collars on the babies' necks so that we could color code them and know that, purple babies belonged to Amy and green babies belonged to Danica. So that we knew as we were selling babies, we would also put collars on their necks so that we knew as other people came in, they could only look at the babies without collars and know that all the babies with collars are unavailable. So that was working great, and we thought we were doing the right thing by doing the puppy Velcro collars that, were just Velcro. And then 2 years ago, we were keeping one of Moo's babies. Her name was Mila. And you came out to do chores. It was Mother's Day and our wedding anniversary. And he came outside and Mila had caught her puppy collar on the hay feeder over there. There was a nail on the inside of the hay feeder. And when she came out of the hay feeder, the back of the puppy collar got caught on this nail and we lost her. So we decided from that day forward that collars were a big no-no. Big no-no. So that is the long story short version of why we have a no collar policy on the farm now for any animal.
So, Lori, we understand what you said. It's not just you. We've had this question
No.
numerous times.
No, it brought it to my forefront though when it was asked yesterday.
Well, you have a lot of goats with no collars. How do you tell them apart? Well, we don't use collars anymore due to that unfortunate experience back 2 years ago.
Yep.
So that is why we don't use collars. It's a safety concern for the animals. It would be very nice to be able to tell them apart and even move them around sometimes. The only time where you'll see us use a collar
Is that show?
Yeah, exactly. What Tyler just said is at a show where we put the collar on to bring the goat to the show ring. You're holding the collar, kind of leading them around, and then you take the collar back off. But they are never in a trailer with a collar, in the barn with a collar, out in the paddock because they just get stuck. Collars could be a bad idea.
Collars and goats are a bad mix.
Mrs. Sadie kept on taking it
And
off.
Sadie used to take hers off, and we'd have to go find it in the paddock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we always say, like, we joke around, but it actually holds a lot of truth. little baby goats are born looking for ways to kill themselves. Like,
Yeah, that's-
they're just super mischievous. If they're gonna get into something and hurt themselves, they'll find it way before you will. So we've learned over the years that you can do all of the goat proofing you want.
Like what man,
Like, one of the babies last year got into some trouble, and thankfully he was fine, but gave me a heart attack and took a couple years off my life. So yeah, we always do our best, but it's like you're always just trying to stay one step ahead of them, and then they go and they jump 2 steps in front of you.
It's one of those situations where you can do everything right.